Happy Wednesday, and welcome to Future Educators Talk with Damian and Darren. I'm your co-host, Damian Anderson. As you see, my good friend and co-host, Darren Fred, is out today to take care of his mental health. But don't worry, he will be back next week on Monday. So, let's get started today with today's topic. So today I am going to be talking about building relationships with your students all year long. So this is very important for teachers of building relationships with your students. So let's just hop right into it today. So, I am going to be talking about a lot of things that teachers can do of building their relationships with their students, because that is the key. That is the key. So, the first thing is to greet their students at the door every morning. So, this is one small thing that speaks volume. So, it lets the students know that they are important enough. Okay? And that the teacher is going to stop whatever that he or she is doing to speak to them before we even start the day. So that is important. It really is, to greet the students at the door every morning, because it just makes them feel important. I mean, it really does. I mean, if you just stand there and just greet them, it will put a smile on their face. It will put a smile on my face. I mean, it would. It would if I was back in school, if I was little, if I was back in elementary school, it would put a smile on my face. It really would. So it really would. And I remember, I can't believe I'm about to say this, but I remember last year, my senior English teacher, Miss Joyner, she would stand, oh my gosh, she was staying by her door. She would stand by her door and be she would stand by her door, and she would always have a smile. She'll have a smile on her face and be like, "Good morning, good morning." Oh my gosh, I'll just be smiling. Oh gosh. But anyways, that just, oh my gosh, that just puts a smile on my face. But see, that will greet students at the door every morning. But anyways, moving right along. But to me, I will do that to my students when I become a teacher. So that is very important. Starting off the day off right. Building your relationships with your students. So do that. Greet your students at the door every morning. So that is number one. The second thing is, now this is what I am going to do. Of the building relationships with my students. This is what I'm going to do. Family meeting with my classroom. Now, what do I mean by the family meeting? Okay, here's what I mean by the family meeting. So, several times, now I'm going to do this several times a week for about maybe 10 to 15 minutes. I am going to let my students share what is going on in their personal life, and also me, I am going to also share with them what is going on in my personal life as well. So this is allowing them and me to get to know each other. Do you get what I'm saying here? So it's like, because we're a family, that is what we are. All of us, we're a family now. Because I want my students and because we're all a family now. So now when I do this, once I become a teacher, I know that this is going to be one of my favorite parts of the day because of the stories and how each one of them is not a number, because they're not. Not one of my students is not a number. Because they're not. None, I don't care. None of my students are a number. Not any students around the world, they are not a number. No teacher should not do that to a student because they are not a number or a score. They are not a score either. No student, no child, none of that. They are not a number or a score. And also, and they have real success and struggles. They do. All of them. And also, I will see this time as an investment and feel that it will pay in dividends in the end. So, that is what I'm going to do of building my relationship with my students, the family meeting. So that's number 2. The next thing that you can do is student letters and questionnaires. So so you could do this during the first week of school. You could ask your students to write you a letter that tells you everything you need to know. You need to know about them. It could be anything, pretty much anything. I'll explain this later on what I'm going to do because I already already wrote me everything what I'm going to hand to my students, which I will explain later. But anything. So when a student tells you that they don't like math or reading, you quickly get a sense that this is a area that this area were greater support, that this is a greater support, and perhaps confident building will be needed, right? So, and it also gives the teacher some ideas for starting the conversation, the discussion with the students. So, and also another way to find out more about your students is with written questionnaires or interviews. So, like I was saying earlier, I have with what I'm going to do is I wrote me I did this I believe I wrote this 2 years ago. And I wrote me because some of y'all already know that I am becoming a teacher, a future math teacher. And this is what I'm going to do when I become a teacher. Give this out to my students the first week of school, or by the end of the first week. And it's a student survey, and it reads Student Survey, Mr. Anderson's 8th grade math class. And it has like everything that I want to know about my students. And it has on here, it has 12 questions on here about, what I want to know about them. So it has, I'm gonna read it out to y'all. So number one, it has in a word, describe school. Number two, write one word that describes you as a person. Number three, who was the best teacher you ever had and why? Number four, if you could have lunch with a famous person, who would it be and why? Number five, what grade did you expect to earn in this class? What kind of grade did you get in math class last year? Number six, what are your favorite things to do when you are not in school? Number seven, write down 3 things you did not understand in math class last year. Number 8, what extracurricular activities like sports, clubs, bands, student council, etc. did you want to participate in this year? Number 9, do you think you're smart? Why or why not? Number 10, tell me what you did this summer. Number 11, what is one thing you would like to know about Mr. Anderson? Number 12, what is the most important thing that I need to do as a teacher to help you succeed in our class? And then at the bottom, it has fill in your schedule. And then at the very last bottom, I put one last question, which has what do you want to do after you graduate from high school? So that is like pretty much my student survey, which I want to know about my students. So that is quite, so it could be pretty much like anything that you want to do with your students. Try to build that relationship. It's all about the relationships. If you start off right at the beginning of the school year, it's going to be smooth and steady down the road throughout the school year. So continuing on, the next thing is the parent input helps. So you know that no one knows their children better than their parents. So, right? So at the start of each school year, teachers should ask their parents. Teachers should ask, not their parent. Well, teachers should ask parents to send them like a short note, or like what it could be, or whatever, about their child, to provide like some insights that will help the teacher to like create a like a individualized program that best suits their child. So that is a great, because like I said, we want to start off right. The parent and the teacher, it needs to connect, because if not, then everything goes chaotic, because we need to have, again, better relationships. We need to have connect. So, the next thing, we have speak to student with respect. Now, with this. Now, I know with this, I know with this, including me, and I know with high schoolers, and probably some middle schoolers, I know, including me, like last year, I remember, like, I know, like, we want to feel like respected. We wanted to feel like adults. And I know, like, last year, I can't believe I'm going to bring this up again. I know, like, last year, in, oh my gosh, in Miss Joyner class, she quite, oh my gosh, like, I know, like, I don't know if, like, I don't know if some of my classmates, if y'all are listening to this podcast right now, I don't know, like, I know that y'all, like, probably y'all are agreeing with me right now, but y'all know that I know that she treated us like babies last school year. Like, she really did. She treated us like babies. We wanted to feel like respected, like adults, and every single day she treated us like babies, like every single day. Like, do this, like that. We couldn't do anything in her class. I mean, she just treated us like babies. I mean, my gosh. I mean, just seriously. I mean, it was just, every time we just go into her classroom, I mean, you don't know what to expect. I mean, seriously, going to the bathroom. I mean, when you had to when we went to go to the bathroom. I mean, I remember this one time. I mean, seriously, one of my classmates, I remember, like, she took him, like, well, I'm not going to go into all of that, but I know that it was just like we wanted to feel like adults in her classroom, but we couldn't because she always treated us like babies. So, but anyways, speak to students with respect. Every relationship relies on mutual respect, and a teacher and student in a teacher-student relationship is no different. So, and there are definitely those times when, there's a student behavior that causes a teacher to feel frustrated. I mean, oh my gosh. I mean, like, seriously, I can't believe I'm about to bring this up again, but, in Miss Joyner class, I mean, there was like, I know, like, if some of my I know, like, if some of my classmates are listening to this podcast, I mean, like, they know, like, she used to, like, get frustrated, like, all the freaking time. And to me, like, there was like for no freaking, like, reason. Like, what in the world is, like, going on? I mean, like, I don't understand. I mean, like, that was, like, and sometimes, like, I'd be like, okay, just, okay, I mean, okay, whatever. So, whatever. So, okay, so when this happens, take a slow, deep breath or two, okay? Just take a slow, deep breath or two, okay? Just do that. Do it. Just take it slow and think about how, okay, let's say if I was a teacher right now, let's say I was a teacher right now, how how it would have um how it would have um let's see and think about how I would have wanted for my own children to be treated in school by their teachers. If I was a teacher right now, how would I have wanted for my own children to be treated in school by their teacher? So, you get what I'm saying there? So, this will help with this. This will like help to respond to any quite like hairy situations with a calm and steady voice. With a calm, steady voice and a smile that just maybe masking a completely different emotion, okay? So just try that. Just try that. And trust me, it will, I don't know, it will probably help. Just so, again, speak to student with respect. That's all we're asking. We just want respect. Okay, for middle and high schoolers, we want to be treated as adults. Well, I know for high schoolers, for us, we want to be treated as adults. We don't want to be treated as babies. No, we don't want to be treated as that. No, we don't want to be treated as that. We want to be treated as respect, as adults. We don't want to be treated as no little video babies. No, no, no. That's unacceptable. So, see, I'm already getting worked up already. See, I need to like calm down. So moving right along. The next thing, be real. Just be real with your students. I mean, come on now, just that is what I'm going to do with my students. I am going to be 100% Damian Anderson. That is what I'm going to be. I am going to be 100% me, blank, blank. That is what I'm going to be, 100% me. Let your students see your mistakes. Embrace them. Let them see the real you. It's okay. It's okay. It is okay for them to see you fall out sometimes. It is okay. It is all right. Some people may not agree with me on this, but I am just telling the truth here. This is my opinion. This is how I'm going to be with my students. Probably some teachers who are listening to this right now, they probably may not agree with me here, but I am going to do this with my students. I'm going to be 100% real with my students. So, they will learn more from watching how you react to a blur than you could teach in an hour-long session. In an hour-long lesson, excuse me. And they will also come to understand that you don't expect perfection because nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. I cannot stand when people say they are perfect. You're not perfect, honey. You're not perfect. God did not make you perfect. He's the only one that is perfect. Nobody on this earth is not perfect. He did not make us to be perfect. So, again, they will also come to understand that you don't expect perfection, and they may become more willing to take risks that increase learning and broaden horizon. So again, be real with your students, because I am 100%. I am going to be 100% Damian Anderson. So, the next thing is trust that they will do great things. Do not let your students go down. Uplift your students. Uplift them up. Let them know that each and every one of them will succeed in life. Do not let them go down. Uplift them. I cannot stand when I see, like, some teachers let them students go down. I cannot stand when I see that. Uplift your students up. One of the greatest things you can do to build relationships with your students is to trust them. Trust them that they will do great things. Let them know that they will do great. Trust them on this work that they are doing. Just trust them. Just trust them that they know what they're doing. Just trust them. For once, just trust them that, hey, I got this, Mr. Anderson. I know what I'm doing here. Okay? I believe in you. But if you need help, just call me or one of your classmates. Don't just, you don't know what you're doing here. Give it here. Don't do that. Unacceptable. Don't do that. Trust your students. So do that. Trust them that they will do great things. Another thing for building relationships with your students all year long is attend outside activities. Now, I did not do this. Well, I'm a student actually. Well, I did not do this while growing up. But, well, probably some actually. But anyways, but I will definitely be doing this when I become a teacher, is attending outside activities. When I become a teacher, I will be definitely doing this with my students, because I want them to see that I support them in whatever they are doing. So if you have ever attended a student activity outside of school hours, you will know that as soon as that child spots you, he or she will break out into the biggest smile ever. Which I don't know about middle or high school students, well, probably some, but this probably for elementary school students, but like, again, I don't know about middle or high school students, but anyways, it's fun to to see your students and families, outside of the school habits. And, they're taking the time out of your weekend or after school is always appreciated by students and parents, and this definitely sends a message to the student that you care about them. So I will definitely be doing this, because I will definitely support my students in anything that they are doing, whatever extra. I always have trouble saying that word, extracurriculum activities that they are doing, any sports, whatever they are doing, I will always support them. So the next thing is to check in with your students daily. See how they are doing. Um, yeah, check in with your students daily. See how they are doing daily. Um, yeah, are they okay? Um, yeah, how are they doing? Because you never know what's going on until you know, until you find out. Because you never want to hear, something horrible has happened. You never want to hear that. You never want to hear that. Especially me. Because I don't want to hear something horrible, anything that has happened. So always check on the people that you love deeply, daily, always. Because you never know. You never know. And that's the next thing. Ask how students are doing. Do you need anything? How can I help? How can I support you? Whatever. So, yeah. The next thing of building a relationship is by asking them some weekly questions. Example, this is quite a little silly, but not quite. Well, maybe. If you could be any fruit, what would you be and why? Just a little. It could be anything. Just try to get like a laugh out of it or whatever. It could be anything. Well, that probably wasn't like a little laugh, but it could be anything simple. It doesn't have to be a long question. It could be anything simple. So, just So, yeah. The next thing is to smile. Smile, smile, smile. I always smile whenever I can because that is God's gift, is what I believe in. That is God's gift. Smile. That is a gift. That is just a wonderful gift. That's what I believe in. That's my opinion. Well, that is smile, because that is just because that's just because if you don't, because if your students see that you are if your students see that you are always glooming and you're always always all that, then they gonna see that you don't care about being here and all of that, and they don't want to be there either. So what's the point of them coming and so just always smile. Just smile, because if you're smiling, then they want to be there too. Well, elementary kids. Well, I don't know about probably some high schoolers and probably some middle schoolers. That's probably a little different, but probably maybe. But anyways, always smile, just because that will lighten up a student's day. That really will lighten up a student's day. The next thing, display students' work in the classroom. Yes. Hang up students' work in the classroom. Show it off. Show off their hard work. Show it off. Show it off. Show it off. Let them see that you care of what they did. I would definitely be doing that. I remember when I was a junior, my junior English teacher, Miss Burketta, she used to do that. Um, when we used to do English like worksheets and stuff, like she used to like display like our worksheets, like the I believe like at the back of the room and stuff. So yeah, a great way to display students' work, hang them around the classroom. Do that. A lovely way to do that. And I remember like lots of teachers do that in high school. I remember Miss Gina. I remember my health science teacher, Miss Gina Hudson. I remember a lots of teacher used to do that. Lots of teacher that I can't name right now. But yeah, display students' work. Display students' work. So the next thing is ask the teacher questions. And what I mean by this is ask the teacher questions. It could be about anything, just to get to know them a little better. I used to do this last year trying to get to know a little more about Miss Burketta, about her life, because I was like very interested about it. I used to because every morning I always go to morning tutoring with her to get help with my like essays or with my worksheets, or helping her grading with stuff. And I always like to learn more about her, about her life and stuff. So that is that's a great way about trying to learn more about the teachers, about what are they like, share things. And also it's also a this is also great things to share things about yourself as well. I don't know, I can't remember if I did that with her as well, but that's a great way to do that as well. So absolutely, I love to I quite miss going in there every morning to hang out with her every morning. I miss doing that, but that was a great opportunity to out of my time to do that. So do that. Ask the teacher's question. It could be about anything, but don't, but well, when I say anything, just as long as it is, appropriate. As long as it is appropriate. So just keep it appropriate. And the last thing I have of building relationships with your students is to call on all students equally. Do not always call on the same exact sets of students every single day. Do not do that. Calling on Jimmy, Sabrina, and David every single day. Don't do that. Why do that to the rest of us, to the rest of the 25 others in this classroom? Don't do that. Call on the others. Always do that. Call on the others. And I hated last year. I hated when some of the teachers would do that. They always called me, and I'm sorry, and I'm sorry I have to say this, but to me, I feel like some of the teachers they feel like I'm sorry I have to say this, but it was like it was kind toward like their favoritism. Like it just like every single quite like day, like the exact quite almost the same quite students. Like I quite don't understand. It just like quite like bugs me. Like and like to me, like I always like quite almost like some days I always quite like get nervous to quite get called on because like I don't want to like answer like a question because like well some of y'all may know that I am shy, but I mean, I'm fine. I'm fine to like answer a question, but like some days, um, like on certain days, I'm just like hoping. I was like hoping that please, I'm just hoping like on certain days, I'm just like hoping when like a teacher looks towards me I'm just hoping like oh please don't call me like please don't call me like and then like they just look past toward me like oh yes and then I'll just be like so freaking happy but um anyways again call on all students equally. Don't just always call on the same students because every student is unique in their own way. Don't just always call on the same students. Don't just do that. It's not right and it's not fair. Each student has a chance. So do that. So, that are the 15, those are the 15, I just gave out 15, tips or, tips or guidelines or whatever of building relationships with your students all year long. So, that is I hope that helps for the teachers that are listening right now. That will help me and Darren as well as me. I hope that helps for some of the veteran teachers and also the new teachers as well. So, yeah. So the question of the day for this topic is, how do you build positive relationships with your students? How do you build positive relationships with your students? So let us know by using the hashtag Future Educators Talk and Future Educators Talk S2. We would love to hear your thoughts on this. So please let us know. Please let us know. In the next episode of Future Educators Talk, I will be talking about some interview tips and questions for teachers, for new teachers. It could be like for new teachers or for like veteran teachers. So I will be talking about that on Friday with special guest Mr. Luther, and that will be his last day. That's gonna be on Friday episode. So listen in on Friday. So Again, Darren, he will not be on Friday's episode. He is on his mental health leave. He will be back on Monday's episode. So, if you haven't already, which you should already be, make sure to follow us on our social media platforms on Instagram and Facebook at Future Educators Talk, at Twitter at Future Ed Talk, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Future Educators Talk with Damian and Darren. Make sure to hit that bell to get notified of all new future episodes and more exciting things in the future. Follow me on Instagram at Damian Anderson, because I am the one of only, of course, and on Twitter at Damian Anderson. Also, you could follow. You could follow me, Coffee Talk, on IG, on Instagram, Coffee Talk with Damian. That's on IG, and then on Twitter at CT with Damian. On IG, new episodes coming out Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central. And on Twitter, new episodes every Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Central. And on both accounts, special guests are welcome. So that is it from me today. So without further ado, I am your co-host, Damian Anderson. And this is Future Educators Talk with Damian and Darren. I will see y'all on Friday's episode with special guest, Mr. Luther.
Anchor is the easiest way to make a podcast. Anchor gives you everything you need in one place for free, which you can use right from your phone or computer. Creation tools allows you to record and edit your broadcast so it sounds great. And they even distribute your broadcast for you so that it can be heard everywhere. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. So make sure you download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.